And then just come to stand towards the back of your mat. I'm gonna turn sideways. And then just let your arms fall down by your sides, and then think about reaching through your fingertips wide to the side, and then bring them up overhead. And then just let your shoulders fall, and then lengthen your arms all the way back down, but feel like you're growing wide across your chest and back as you lower your arms down, and then back up again. And back down. Last one. And then let your knees be nice and soft, and then let your front ribs drop. Keep your arms slightly in front of you, and slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Think about widening your sitting bones as your hands come towards the floor. And then let your arms and head be heavy, gaze should be between your legs, and then feel your sitting bones start to drop towards each other as you slowly round yourself all the way back up. Arms will be the last thing before your head. And then reach your hands all the way up. Again, knees are soft. This time hinge at your hips, reach your arms forward in front of you, and then round your spine all the way down. Keep reaching your sitting bones back behind you, and then think about narrowing them as you round all the way back up. Head finds its place on top of your spine, and then your arms lift. One more of each kind, so now this time you're going to roll all the way down. Think about widening your sitting bones as you get towards the bottom slightly. Let your head and arms be heavy. And then peel yourself all the way back up. And then your arms are going to lift all the way. And then from here, reach your fingertips away from your sitting bones. Think about widening them with a flat back. And then when you can't hinge anymore, round your spine all the way down towards the floor. And then you're going to roll yourself all the way back up. And last time, you're just going to roll down or hinge, whichever one you would rather do. And then walk yourself out to find a plank here. Think about your heels going in opposition from the crown of your head. You can bend your knees and put them on the ground and find yourself in a kneeling plank if you prefer that. And then from here, take a big inhale, east to west. And then on your exhale, drop your knees, but pull them all the way underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders. And then tuck the tailbone under just like we were doing before, round the spine. And then find that extension. Think about widening the sitting bones, lengthen through the front of your body as you find your extension, and then curl yourself back up towards the ceiling. And then again, find that extension. Shoulders gently pull back, or shoulder blades rather gently pull back. Same with your armpits towards your heels or your glutes. Gaze is just in front of you, and then round your spine one more time here, and then widen your knees and sit back onto your heels. With your hands at least as wide as your shoulders or slightly wider, you're just going to gently press them down into the floor. And then from here, think about pulling the heels of your hands towards your knees as you lengthen your chest through your arms, but keep your sitting bones nice and heavy. And then lengthen, press the hands away as you round through the upper back. So maybe your gaze comes towards your feet or your inner thighs. And then again, pull the heels of your hands towards your knees as you find length through your spine, really just the top of your spine. And then you're going to round back down. And last time, find that extension. And then all the way back down. And then pull yourself forward into all fours again. Hands come right back underneath your shoulders. And extend your right leg back behind you. And then you're going to plant the inside edge of that right foot. Bring your left foot slightly out to the side. And then reach up and open with your right hand towards the ceiling. Lengthen that arm overhead. And then rotate back to the center. Bring your left foot back in line with your knee, and then float that right leg up. Holding it just in line with your hip here, you're going to pull your knee underneath you, round your spine. And then extend your leg or reach through the heel as you lengthen through the crown of the head. And then again, round your spine, bring your knee in underneath you, and find that extension through the hip as you lengthen the spine. And then round. And extend. 3 more here. And thinking about that extension just through the hip, you're in a nice neutral spine. Keeping your weight evenly distributed across your hips so you're not leaning all the way out to the right side if you can help it, or left side rather. Last one, pause with this leg long. Externally rotate, place that inside edge down. Externally, or slide your left foot again out to the side as you reach your right arm up and open. And then just float that left leg up and back down. Right leg up and down. Keep reaching your arm up towards the ceiling and really press the floor away with that left hand. For 3, 2, last one. Leave the leg lifted, rotate the arm down towards the floor, and then bring your left knee back underneath you. And then from here, you're just gonna open up through that hip. So you're reaching your right hip open towards the front and then bring it back towards the center. So I'm coming up onto my right fingertips as I twist and rotate, and I'm lowering that hand all the way back down. Just rotating your pelvis around that left femur and back to the center for 3, 2, and last one. And then square yourself off at the bottom. And then from here, bend your knee up and with your foot up towards the ceiling. You're going to tap your knee down and then lift it up. And tap it down and lift for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, keep it at the top. From here, think about lowering your knee about an inch and then lengthen through the front of your hip to lift. Lower down just an inch and then press to lift, squeezing the glute. Lowering down and lift. Think that where your glute and hamstring meet, that's the area that's doing all the work here. Not that your hamstring, your left glute, your quad, everything is working, but focus on that lift from right there for 4. Nice and slow, nice and small. 3, 2, last one. Tap the right knee towards the left calf and then lift it straight up. So you're internally rotating as you lower, excuse me, and then bring it back to parallel as you lift. And internally rotate and lift for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Pause with your leg at the top. And then from here, you're going to externally rotate. So inner thigh faces the floor. Bring it back to the center and then through internal rotation. So again, open it out to the right, external rotation, and then bring it back in internal. And open out. And in. 5 more. Pressing evenly through both hands. Feel that little lift and gentle pull back of the armpits towards the heels for 3, 2, excuse me, last one. And then bring the knee all the way down and bring it in front of you so that you're in a nice 90-90 lunge here. Tuck the tailbone under, and then you're just going to slide forward, bring the hips forward as you lengthen that left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale here. You can add a little side bend if that feels nice, dropping that right hip towards the floor still. And then you're going to bring your hands back, bring your left knee underneath you. And then we're going to switch sides. So, excuse me. Bringing your left leg up in line with your heel, or in line with your hips rather. Plant the inside of that left foot, rotate the right foot right, and then open up towards that left side. Pause here for just a second. You can bring that arm overhead and get a nice stretch. And then bring it back all the way around. Find yourself in all fours with that left leg lifted behind you. Curl round the spine as you bring that knee in towards your chest. And then extend the leg long, open through the hip. A little squeeze in the glute as you find neutral. And round everything in. And then extend long. And in. And extend. Again, keeping your hips nice and square to the floor for now. And open. A little bit more weight might be in that left hand. 4 more. Just notice if your hips have wanted to shift over towards that right side. Last one. Leave that leg nice and long. And then from here, externally rotate, plant that leg, bring your right leg out, and then open up and find your nice side plank modification here. Bring that left leg up and then float it back down. Really press the floor away with that right hand reaching up towards the ceiling on the left. You're not collapsing towards the floor at all here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Leave that leg lifted, bring that hand down, bring the left or right foot rather back in line. So from here, you're going to externally rotate your hip, so you're rotating around that right femur, coming up onto your left fingertips if you need to open towards the left side, and then rotate back to center, plant your left hand. And then twist and rotate that femur, and then coming back down. Thinking about keeping your weight more or less over that knee. If you need to pad your knee, go for it. 3 more. 2. And last one. Good, coming back to the center. Give your right knee a rest if you need. I'm actually going to pad my knee for the rest of this on that right side. All right, so coming back to all fours, left leg is still out behind you. Bend at the knee, bring that left foot up towards the ceiling. And you're gonna tap your knee down and then lift it straight up. Tap it down and lift. And down and lift. Good, 4 more. 3, find that gentle engagement of those armpits. 2. Last one, leave that leg at the top, more or less parallel towards the ceiling. Drop the knee about 1 inch and then lift up, pulling the hamstring and glute towards the ceiling, giving it a little squeeze at the top for 8. Weight is even through the hands. Your hips are nice and square towards the floor for 3, 2, and last one, pause here. Internally rotate that left leg, tap the left knee towards the right calf, and then rotate it parallel to bring it back up. And then internally rotate as you tap down, and then rotate to parallel as you lift. For 5, 4, 2, and last one. Pause with that leg at the top. Externally rotate. So left inner thigh faces the floor, and then internally rotate. So left inner thigh towards the ceiling. So towards the floor and towards the ceiling. This can be as big or as small as feels comfortable. Reaching through the knee, keeping it nice and your leg nice and long. You're really rotating from that femur. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. And then float that left leg forward now. Find your nice 90-90 lunge position here. Tuck your tailbone under and then shift your weight gently forward. And then you can reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Thinking about really lifting up through your waist. Then you can add that little gentle side bend if it feels nice. And then lower that arm all the way down. If you rolled your mat over like I did, you're going to lengthen it all the way. And then you're going to grab your weights. And just put them next to you to start. And then you're going to come up onto, You're going to come up onto your feet, actually. So take them with you. I lied. You're going to have both hands, or a weight rather, in each hand. You can obviously do all of this without a weight. If at any time you feel like the weight is too much, just use your arms Arms are heavy already. So you're gonna stand hip distance, and then you're just gonna think about tucking the tailbone under ever so slightly. And then from here, you're just gonna float your arms up to a T like we did at the very beginning of class, except instead of coming all the way overhead, you're just coming to shoulder height. And then you're gonna lower all the way back down. Again, keeping those knees nice and bent so your hips stay stacked underneath your rib cage. Reaching long through those arms. Think about being inside of a ball or a bubble, and you want to try to touch every corner. 4 more. And just feel your shoulder blades gently sliding on your back here. As you lift and lower those arms. 2 more. Last one. Lower the left arm all the way down. Keeping the right arm here, lower it down. And lift it straight up. Sorry, I said straight up and I went to the side. So straight in front of you. Good. Lifting it up and down. Feeling your shoulder blade gently slide in towards your spine as you lift, and then gently out as you lower. And again, knees are nice and bent. Three more on this left or right arm rather. And then lower it all the way down. Switching sides, so right arm by your side, and then lifting that left arm straight in front of you. You can have a little soft bend in the elbow. Think about lifting the crown of your head towards the ceiling for 6, 5, and resist as you come back down. 3, 2, last one. Bring your right palm in to face your hip and your left hand in front of you with your palm facing your quad. You're going to lift your right arm out to the side as your left arm comes in front of you and back down for 4, 3, 2. Last one. Pause at the top, switch. So right hand is going to lower in front of you, left arm out to the side, and lift for 3, 2. Last one. Pause at the top, switch. Lower down, lift, switch, lower, lift, and switch. And really making sure that that left arm, or rather the arm to the side, isn't going behind your body. You want to keep it in your peripheral vision, and that front arm isn't really lifting any higher than that shoulder. And switch. We're going to do 2 more. Last one. Lift, switch, slowly resist all the way down. Good. You can keep your weights in your hand or you can bring them to the ground. Either way is up to you. I'm actually going to drop them down on the floor. Again, keeping your nice hip distance stance. You're going to think about hinging at your hips. Your arms are just by your side or on your hips, your choice. And then from here, you're going to send your right leg back behind you. And then you're going to bring it in towards your chest and come all the way up top. So bend that left leg as you lengthen through your right leg, extend it back behind you. And then press through that left leg as you hinge at that right hip and come up tall. Again, you can be doing this here with your weights in your hands if you'd like. We're going to add them in a few minutes. 3 or 4 more. Really focusing and feeling the support through your whole left foot, your ankle. 2. Last one. So from here, leave your right leg behind you. And you're just going to lower down with that left leg rather, and then press halfway up. And then lower halfway down and up. And down. And up. For 4, 3, 2, Hold on, of course, if you need. Last one. And then bring that leg all the way underneath you. We're going to switch and do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll add our weights. So, standing hip distance, bring that left foot slightly back behind you. Your right leg is slightly bent. And then you're just going to press through that right leg as you come into a tabletop on that left leg, standing up nice and tall. And then bend and reach that leg back behind you. And then bring it up. And bend. And up. 4 more. Think that you are going to press your foot all the way through the floor as it propels you upright, feeling the lift from your glute. And then pause here with that leg long. Bend your right knee even more, and then straighten it a little. And then bend it more, and straighten. And again, holding on as you need. For 3, 2, and last one. And then plant that foot down. Grab onto your weights. You're going to have them in just one hand. So you can either hold your 2 pounds in that one hand, or you can put both weights in one hand, your choice. So you're going to bring your right leg back behind you, soft bend in that left leg rather. Your arm is up by your body in the same line. And then just think about sliding your scapula in towards your spine a little and lengthen your arm long. And then from here, as you press through the floor, you're going to come into a bicep curl as that right leg lifts. And then extend that arm long as the leg goes long. And then hinge at the hip as you bring the arm to a bicep curl. And extend through that right side. And then bend in. And again, extend and bend. And bend. Good. Hips stay square to the floor. Keep that openness through that right shoulder, so you don't want the head of your shoulder in, you want it open. And back in. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Pause here. Really bend into this. Lunge here, and then bend at the elbow and extend. And bend and extend for 6, 5, 4, 2. Last one. Good. And then bring that arm to in line with your shoulder, elbow points down. You're going to come into your split squat, so bend at that 90-90 position. Feet shouldn't be super narrow together. You want a nice base of support here. And then as you press up, you're going to extend your arm long. And pull it back down. And then press up. Resist to bring it down. And up. 4 more. 3. I lied. We're going to do 4 more now. 3. Knee bending straight towards the floor. 2. Last one. And then open out so that you are in a nice externally rotated position with your legs in a wide squat here. And you're just going to slide over towards that left side. Bring your, left forearm onto your left knee and lengthen your arm towards the floor. And then you're just going to open yourself up and then come back down towards the floor. You can do this with one weight or no weights. You're just opening and rotating your chest. Feeling that shoulder blade slide in towards your spine. And then rotate towards the floor. And open. Your hips don't rotate, just through the upper body. For 3, 2. Last one. And then put the weight down. And then stand all the way up. And then bring your feet into whatever squat position is comfortable. And then you're going to sit all the way down into a deep squat here. Think about finding a little bit of length. You can hold on to your legs You can press your knees out to the side, whatever feels good here. If your heels don't come down, if you're up here, don't worry about it. You're just going to take one more breath here, trying to have a nice, tall, proud spine. And then roll yourself all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, and we'll switch sides. Perfect. So you're going to come into that position with the left leg now back behind you. Right leg is softly bent. You're going to have your upper arm in line with your torso on that slight angle here. Extend that arm back. Again, opening through the front of the chest. Shoulder blade slides in towards your spine. Press through the right leg. Bend your left arm. Weights towards your shoulder. And extend long as you bring that leg back. And then up. And back. And up. And back. And of course, hold on however you need. If your knee comes over your toes on the right side, that is totally fine, because that happens in life. 3, 2. Last one. Pause with that leg back behind you, arms back, bend at the elbow, and extend for 8. 7. 4. Neck is nice and long. 3. 2. Last one. And then lengthen your torso towards the ceiling. Bend your arms at your shoulder. Weights are by your shoulder. And then find that nice split squat here. Front of that left hip is open. Tailbone is tucked under. And press up and back down. Think about pressing your hips up as the arm goes forward. Rather up, not forward. But it is forward of your head, so you have that arm in your periphery, not back behind you. Think about going straight down with the torso. 5 more. 3. 2. Last one. Open all the way up. Find that external rotation through the legs. Send your weight over towards your right side and then come onto your right forearm. Press that leg away so you're nice and open. Then twist and rotate the upper body towards the floor and then open. Like you have a bow and arrow and you're trying to pull the bow and the string back, or a lawnmower or generator. Hips stay forward, just rotating through the upper body for 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Place that weight down and then bring your toes to face forward and then bend your right knee, feeling that stretch through your left inner thigh, and then walk over slightly towards your left side, bend your left knee. And we're just going to alternate here, going from one side to the other for a couple of breaths. Weights are off to the side. For 3, 2, and then last one over to the left. Giving that right thigh a nice stretch, a little longer this time than at the beginning. And then walk your hands and feet back to center. Really bend your knees. Think about lengthening through the sitting bones, widen them, lengthen your torso, and then fold all the way over your legs. From here, feel your sitting bones gently narrow as you come up to stand nice and tall. Move your weights over towards the top of your mat where your head's going to go in a moment. And you're going to come back towards the end of your mat. And then just walk yourself, or rather round yourself all the way down. Knees are nice and soft. And then come out into a nice plank here. You can be on your knees as well, if you'd like. I'm going to do my knees. I'm tired. Tuck the tailbone under ever so slightly. Think about lengthening through the front of your torso like you're looking over the edge of a cliff. And then you're going to send your hips back towards your heels into a child's pose, regardless of whether or not you are in a full plank or on your knees. Find your child's pose. And then you're going to lift your torso up ever so slightly. Take your right hand and thread it under. Think about pressing that left hand into the floor as your right hand presses, and you gently rotate yourself open. Maybe you feel a little stretch between your shoulder blade and your spine. One more breath here. And come back to the center and switch sides. So you're going to thread your right arm underneath, palm faces up. Press that right palm into the floor as you press your left palm. Just start to find a little bit of that rotation. And then come back and find yourself in all fours. You're going to bring one weight only in between your hands. And you're going to grab that with your right hand. And then from here, you can always drop your weight if this is too much, of course. You're going to pull that right arm, or rather the weight, just below your shoulder. And then you're going to find a, whatever position this is, a half goalpost position, but you're in all fours. So you're fighting gravity a little bit here. And then you're going to bring that arm in so the weight faces the ceiling. Your arm is bent underneath you, and then you're going to lift it out to the side. If this is too much, come sit, and you're just going to rotate this in front of your face, and then find the opening of the chest. So find that space in the back, and the space in your chest. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one, pause with the inner arm facing the floor, reach the arm overhead, and then pull it back in. You can bring your arm all the way to your side, and then reach it overhead and back in. Your hand is in your periphery the whole time. And again, you can also do this from here if it is too much in that other position. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. And then lower that hand all the way down and place your arm down towards the floor. So, I'm going to come over the other way. You're going to have that left arm now just in line with your shoulder. Palm faces the floor, and then rotate to bring it in, and then open it up towards the side. Your weight is still steady over your left hand, or right hand rather, and again, bring it in front of your face, and then opening out to the side. Feeling that glide of the shoulder blade. Your knees can be wider than your hips for some extra support. 5 more. Nice and slow here. 2. Last one. Pause with that arm out facing the floor. Palm goes forward and then drag it back in. Again, you can always do this here as well. You can switch. You can do 6 and 4, whatever works. We're doing 10 of them. 5 more. 3, 2, and last one. Lower that arm, lower that weight. From here, move your weight just out in front of your face, and you are going to place your elbows on the floor. You're going to bring your hands together, and you're going to send your knees back towards your hips, and then feel the stretch in the tricep. You can pull your elbows back behind you, or back towards you rather, whatever feels good, but you should be able to find a nice stretch here as you send your hands towards that portion of your upper back in between your shoulder blades, just below the nape of your neck. And think about reaching your elbows away from you and draping your chest towards the floor. Enjoying the stretch to the underarm. Good. Extend your arms long. nice and wide. Press your hands into the floor and feel that space across your back. Maybe you even get a little stretch if you're very tight. Like me. Big inhale. And then on your exhale, find yourself back on all fours for the last time. You're going to tuck your toes underneath, and you're going to find yourself in a nice plank. From here, if you need to drop to your knees at any point, go for it. You're going to point your toes like you're going to look off the edge of your mat, shifting your weight forward. And send your heels back behind you like, nah, I don't really want to do that. And then peek over the edge again, and then send yourself back. Your hips are not lifting. You're staying in a nice long plank here for 4, 3. Doing this on your knees is kind of the same thing. You're finding your plank, and then you're going back. Last one. Hold your plank here. You're going to bend your right knee and then extend. Just your right and then extend. You can always do this on your forearms. 2. Last one. Left knee bends for 7, 6, 5. Hips don't start to lift up towards the ceiling. 3, 2. Last one. Lower the heels, lift the hips. Find yourself in a nice down dog here. You can bend your knees a bunch. Take a second to get a nice stretch. And then shift your weight forward. Bend both knees. Extend. And bend. For 5, 4. Keep pressing the floor away with your hands. 2. Last one. Lift the hips. Again, take a second here in this nice down dog. Shake your head out. Widen the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. And then bend your knees a whole bunch. Hips reach back. Then shoot yourself forward into a plank. Fold at the hips, lift up. Bend the knees, lower the hips. Feel like you're, about to spring forward, almost like a sprinter stance. And then shift your weight forward into that plank. 2 more like this. Hips up. Bend the knees, hips reach back, hands press forward. Shoot forward into your plank. Last one. Hips up, bend the knees, lower them towards the floor, and shoot forward. From here, bend the knees, send the hips back behind. Lengthen through the backs of the legs to find your down dog, and then find your plank. And then bend back, shift your weight back, 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 back. Lengthen through the back of the legs as you lift the hips, and then find your plank. 2 more. Bend the knees, shift back. Lengthen through the hips as you lift back of the legs and forward. Very last one. Shift back, lift the hips, drop the heels. Find your plank. Take 1 big inhale here. And then on your exhale, lift your hips and walk your hands back towards your feet. Being nice and heavy here. Shift your weight to the right and then to the left. And then just like we started, think about narrowing your sitting bones as you round all the way up. And you can add the arms into this if you'd like to lift them up overhead. And then round all the way back down. And then narrowing the sitting bones as you peel yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. Lift the arms all the way up. This time we're going to hinge forward. Lengthen the arms and sitting bones away. When you can no longer keep hinging, round your spine towards the floor. And then peel yourself all the way back up. Last one. Lift the arms all the way up. Hinge at the hips. Send them back behind you. Knees are soft. And then round all the way forward. Drop the head. Let the arms be super noodly. Let the head be nice and loose. Really find that length through the back of your neck. And then as slowly as you can, nice soft knees. Weight is even through the feet, maybe slightly more in the heels. Feel that stretch through the low back. Feel the hips start to stack over your heels and your ribs and your shoulders and then your head. Lift your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Externally rotate and press them down. Grow nice and tall through the crown of your head. And let your arms find your sides, and you are all finished. Thanks.